So you saw the video of the cops in Tulsa kill Terence Crutcher. You saw that video. You saw he had his hands in the air, Cops shot him, killed him, and then let him bleed out and die without helping him. Because that's what cops do. Because cops are fucking maniacs. That's why they're cops, by the way. That's why they're not teaching little kids to read. That's why they're not firemen. That's why they're not EMTs. I want to serve my community, but I want to have a gun. I know cops. My dad was a cop. My grandpa was a cop. My oldest brother was a cop. Some of my best friends in Chicago are cops. All fucking maniacs. They're nice to me one-on-one. So here's some statistics about this shooting. Here's some statistics about the shooting in Tulsa. Did you know a black person in Oklahoma is 4.5 times more likely to be killed by police than a white person? How about not shocking?
I'm surprised it's that low.
I'm surprised. Dave Reinitz, I'm here with Dave Reinitz, comedian, and he says he's surprised it's that low. So am I.
I am.
Now, 4.5 times. I'm not a math surgeon, but 4.5 times, is that 400%? Does 4 times means 400% more?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Police in Oklahoma kill people at the second highest rate of any state.
I don't like people from Oklahoma either.
I've been to Tulsa. The majority of those killed by Tulsa police have been unarmed. Only 1 of 11 people they've killed since 2013 even had a gun. We just give guns to fucking maniacs. The state gives you guns. Go shoot our citizens. What if they're not armed? It doesn't matter.
So it's almost like my chances increase of being killed if I don't have a gun and I'm black.
Yes.
It seems like, based on this statistic, if you're carrying a gun, they're less likely to shoot you.
Less likely to shoot you if you're carrying a gun.
Yeah. So if you don't want to be shot by cops, carry a gun.
Here's what I like. Just recently in New York, they caught that guy who planted those bombs in New York. They caught that guy.
Yes.
And they say it was terrorism now, right? Isn't that what they're saying? And here's what Sean King says. So after injuring 29 people on Saturday and shooting 2 cops, he shot 2 cops. Police found a way to take Ahmad Khan Rami alive. I commend them. You know why? Police took him alive because they wanted to. They wanted him alive. They preferred him to be alive. So they took him alive. When they don't want you to be alive, they just kill you. Because we don't value life in our culture. That's why we can drop bombs in Iraq and kill millions of people and go oopsie and not really care about it. Now we're going to elect one of the people who was for that, who was full-throated and for the invasion, killing people there. It doesn't matter. So we don't respect life. We have all this bullshit in this culture about unborn life, but born life we couldn't care less about. We kill people. We're drone bombing people. Chomsky has called our drones program the biggest terrorist program in the world. We kill people all over the place. We crack the heads of peaceful protesters in America. This culture is messed up. We have a violent culture. We worship violence. We worship the gun. His pastor said, he saw the video, his hands were in the air from all views, his pastor, Rodney Goss, said. Goss echoed the eyewitness's account and said that Crutcher's moved slowly and carefully the entire time when he was suddenly shot by Officer Betty Shelby, who is a criminal and a murderer and should be arrested immediately, but she won't be arrested because she's a cop, and our state gives guns to maniacs and tell them to go kill people, and they do, and they're never prosecuted. Ever. Ever. They kill with impunity. They're a gang that kills with impunity, and then they lie for each other. They commit more felony acts by covering for murderers. That's the culture we live in.
You know, we'd see.
I'm sorry. I hope nobody kneels down at a fucking football game this Sunday.
I hope they don't wear
Pussy
some
cops.
I hope they don't wear some socks that are going to outrage me.
Oh, I hope they don't wear socks to outrage the cops. If there's a bigger group of fucking pussies in this country besides cops, I'd like to see it. You know who are tough guys? Firemen. Comedians are tougher than cops. I go on stage without a gun.
You know, we see these scenes happening time and time again, which are so troubling, and we're seeing that the police are reactive. They just jump into it and they start shooting.
That's how they're trained.
Well,
That's our culture. Go ahead.
And there's no repercussion. That is the end.
No
of it.
repercussion.
But that's the issue with the culture, right? Is that there's laws that are supposed to be for everybody, but they're not. So it's just the level of selective prosecution and the level of, even when they prosecute them, they always get off. It's just a universal. It's a universal truth. As a cop, you do have impunity. You can kill people.
They choked a guy in broad daylight in Staten Island over selling Lucy's. They choked him to death, an illegal move that was banned, and nothing happened.
Of course, and it's a trickle down situation. I mean, it's been going on for years.
Yes.
From the Bush criminal wars to no accountability,
From Nixon and
to
Kissinger.
torture, to all of this ongoing constant thing of selective prosecution. So the idea that, it's like the myth of democracy, like somehow we live in a democracy. We don't. And you can tell because, in California, we're not going to pick our own president. We're not going to get the president that we pick. Oklahoma is going to pick the president.
Right.
Donald Trump's going to be the next president because he's going to win fucking Oklahoma. And Oklahoma, by the way, Oklahoma and Arkansas, I believe, are the two states where Donald Trump has the biggest numbers.
Really?
Yeah.
So there you go. Cops blatantly lying about murdering a citizen. And nobody seems to really be that upset about it. I mean, in mainstream news or in the government, nobody's upset.
And the car still says on the side of it to serve and protect.
Still, that's like
that's hysterical.
Ourselves.
That's like new and improved. No, it's not. It's
but
the same
that's why,
shit.
as Daniel Koenig points out, that's why it's in quotes.
Yes.
We're here to serve and protect. There you go. Another murder by cops. Another cover-up of a murder by cops. It goes without, you don't even have to guess if the cops are going to lie. Of course they're going to lie. They're lying murderers. And ever since 9/11, we've been acting like they're firemen. They're not firemen. They're guys who want to serve their community with a gun.